train you just saw was the 1:35 p.m. service from Swan Hill, en route towards Southern Cross due for arrival sometime after 6 p.m. The train arrives into platform 15B as rush hour commuters head home after another working week comes to an end. The ex-Swan Hill service will now form the 6:33 p.m. service from Southern Cross to Bairnsdale, which will go down in history as the last of the V1 locomotive hauled services to the Gippsland region, marking the end of an era for a 40-year-old tradition in the name of the newer velocity trains. Locomotive N471 and a 5-car set of mixed N and Z carriages will haul the final Gippslander. This will also be the final V1 locomotive hauled service to pass through Flinders Street, as the Gippsland line is the only line on V1's network that passes through Melbourne's busiest station. On board the train, we ventured down into the southeast, weaving through a bunch of suburban trains making stops at both Richmond and Caulfield. The N-class services offered reserved first-class seating in the first carriage of the train, with a buffet service in the second carriage, followed by sections of reserved and unreserved seating as you make your way towards the back of the train. The newer velocity trains, although they offer more speed and some reserved seating, they unfortunately do not cater for first class or buffet services, or even a view like this outside the back of the train. As the velocity train started taking over some of the Gippsland services in 2018, the 6:33 p.m. from Southern Cross and the 6:14 a.m. from Bairnsdale were still operated by mostly locomotive hauled trains.
What do you think of the sign on the front?
I did. It's very nice though. It's very nice. Have to give him that. But it's the Nathan series.
The express train made another stop at Dandenong before proceeding to the last suburban stop at Pakenham.
So we're not too far from Beaconsfield now, and what I'm going to try and get is a little, perhaps a horn show from the locomotive. And the reason for that horn show is because he used to be a rail enthusiast that unfortunately passed away recently. He used to live in Beaconsfield and used to film these trains alongside the Maryvale paper train almost all the time, and he'd always get a horn show when those trains were crossed through there for the crews that did recognise him. So who knows? We might see that again in a moment. And that was a horn show as we passed Beaconsfield.
The train only makes 5 stops between Pakenham and Traralgon before stopping all stations to Bairnsdale. Some of those stops include Garfield, Druin and Warrigal, where we farewelled the final locomotive hauled service. April earlier this year, N460 starting up to form the 6:14am service from Bairnsdale to Southern Cross. Note that this is just prior to the construction of the new velocity stabling yard to the right. And here's one last clip of the Up Bairnsdale taken in October 2018. From now on, the entire Gippsland line is now operated by the newer velocity trains, marking the end of an era for locomotive hauled services in the east. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.